Well. I said it. I said the Steelers had a 400-yard game, and wouldn't you know? Both of my co-hosts mysteriously call out sick. hmm Sure. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm Chance Ellison. Welcome back to Left Side Strong Side, where we talk all the NFL. Okay, one my co-host is here. Jacob Lennon's he's here. Mike Deacon actually is sick. Get well soon. Believe me, you have no idea how sad I am that you are not here today. But joining us today, he was on our draft stream. We're happy to have him on for a full episode. Brandon Buckingham. Brandon, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me on. I watch every single week, so it's always great to be on the other side.
So our viewer engagement is going to collapse this week.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about kicking someone off because I'm not Mike. I'm not.
Look, I know Mike is sick. I firmly believe he did not want to come on because he knew he had no leg to stand on this week. Not this one.
He'll find Mike will find something. It's not very. Sometimes might not be a strong leg to stand on, but he'll find one.
He'll find something. He'll find a prop. He'll find something. But before we get into the actual game that took place this week, we got to talk about this. The 2024 Hall of Fame Modern Era semifinalists came out today. Got the list up right here. Give me 1 second. So yeah, these are some of the players who are currently up for bid for the Modern Era players who are currently up for bid for the 2024 Hall of Fame class. So we got Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Tiki Barber, Anquan Bolden, Jari Evans, London Fletcher, Dwight Freeney, Antonio Gates, Eddie George, James Harrison, Rodney Harrison, Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Robert Mathis, Julius Peppers, Steve Smith, Fred Taylor, Hines Ward, Ricky Waters, Reggie Wayne, Vince Wilfork, Patrick Willis, and Darren Woodson. Interesting about this class is this is the first class I've seen in a very long time that has no quarterbacks. I haven't seen a class with no quarterbacks in some time. I think the last one had at least one. Because wasn't Andrew Luck last? No. Andrew Luck was eligible this year, wasn't he?
Yeah, but Luck's never been a finalist.
No, but he this is his first year eligibility, though, so he wouldn't have been. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there were no quarterbacks last year.
No, last year, I don't think there was a quarterback last year either. Like I said, I don't know if there's going to be a quarterback for at least another 2 or 3 years, like until Big Ben's eligible.
Drew Brees.
Brees? It was Brees? Oh, yeah, Brees was the year before Big Ben. Okay, yeah, so Brees will be 24. Okay, yeah, so Brees will be next year. Sorry, 25. 25. Sorry.
25. So Brees will be a year after.
Yeah, year after that. Yeah, we're really gonna go Brees, Ben, Brady, and then comes the question mark of Manning, Rivers.
I mean, I think Rivers could, given the class, like Rivers could get in his first year of eligibility.
I think Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer, but I know a lot of people.
I do too. I would agree.
I just don't know if he's the first ballot. I just don't know if.
No, I'm not saying he's first ballot.
First ballot's pricey. I'm just saying, like, given the fact that, like, I mean, Brees is gonna steal a lot of his thunder, but he could still get in. I'm not saying, but like looking at what we have now,
it's not his fault he couldn't win in the playoff. Like that whole organization, and we still see it, is a mess.
Yeah.
But Justin Herbert said, "Oh, me next." So looking at the list, some
Gates.
One surprise I thought, I was surprised Tiki Barber made the list. And I love Tiki Barber, but I'm surprised to see him make it.
Yeah. It's interesting with this list is there isn't that bona fide, genuine guarantee. You look at all of this, there isn't someone who you're like, oh yeah, no, they're guaranteed to be like.
It should be Gates. It should be.
Yeah, but Gates hasn't.
I think of the locks for a first ballot, I think Antonio Gates is. Yeah, I think he's the guy.
This is crazy how this is his first time as a semifinalist.
Well, it's his first year eligible.
First eligibility. He's never been eligible before this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trying to see who's the most tenured semifinalist on this list. I think it's Heinz Ward. Yeah, Heinz Ward's the most tenured semifinalist on the list. He's been a semifinalist 8 times.
wow.
Every year too. Like he's just perennial on there for the last 8 years. He's just been on there. They might give it to him this year because there isn't like Julian Peppers. I could see. Oh no, he's his first time actually. No, never mind.
I could see making it because Pepper's like really great.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like receivers, how many times has Torrey Holt been up for this? Torrey Holt.
10.
Oh, Torrey Holt's most tenured.
Wow.
Wow.
10 times. He's been in semifinals, hasn't made it in.
Like he for me is like, yeah, like it's not like a immediate like yes. It's not an immediate no. It just depends on who else is on the ballot that year.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the rest of the greatest show hunters in the Hall of Fame, Marshall Falk, Isaac Bruce, fucking Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame, I think honestly, like this could be Torrey's time.
Given the weaker class, yeah.
Yeah, like the class is not great for wide receivers. I think like if
the
a
one
wide
that
receiver is
stands out
making
to
it,
me,
good.
he literally is the best at his position of all time, Devin Hester. But it's
We said that
because
last
he's
year. Devin Hester, like the
but it's
greatest
because
kick
he's
return man of all time.
yeah, and it's not even close.
No.
Like he was, I don't see any. The way that the rules are now, too, very unlikely you'll see someone that changes the game like he did.
No, yeah, Devin Hester is one that definitely deserves. He deserves to be there. So looking at this list, give me your 3 that you would like to see, that you'd like most to see make it.
Bolden, Gates, and Hester.
Mm.
But that's probably because I'm kind of biased because I watched Gates growing up. I watched Bolden when I moved to Phoenix in 2008. So, yeah.
Gate, Peppers, and probably Holt. Yeah. Finally get in.
Yeah, for me, it's. I mean, obviously, Heinz Ward. I love Heinz. I think he's deserved it for a long time. I hope his theory finally gets in. Yeah, Antonio Gates. Like, I think that he is among the greatest tight ends of all time.
Top 5.
So I think, yeah, easily top 5. So I think, I think again of the first ballots, I think he's the biggest lock to make it in. Aside from him, one I'd like to see make it. I'd like to see Jared Allen finally get in. I think Jared Allen's excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will keep track of this Hall of Fame class to see how who gets eliminated, who continues on. Will Heinz Ford finally stop getting screwed over by the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I seriously doubt it, but I can dream. If Matt Canada can get fired, anything's possible. Going into the actual games that were played over the weekend. First of which, starting off big with our upset of the week. Turkey Bowl Part 1, the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. Look, this just goes to show, it doesn't matter who is running the team, who is there, how well they're playing before. You cannot beat the tradition of the Detroit Lions getting their lunches handed to them on Thanksgiving.
My big takeaway from this is more so this is what the Packers started opening it up. That's what I found most interesting was they started playing carefree and going, fuck it, let's just throw it. And that's kind of what they did. And they looked pretty good with it. Now, the biggest takeaway, obviously, is Jared Goff and pressure. He turns into why the Rams got rid of him. And he had a lot of pressure in this game. That O-line didn't hold up very well against the Packers, which is concerning. I'm not ready to write off the Lions. I'm kind of ready to just go, it's Thanksgiving. It's a little bit of a blip, short week against a division rival. But, and like, I think they're still going to win a week 1 wild card against, because, if they have to play one of these bad NFC South teams or, I don't know, like, someone, then they're probably going to win. But if they have to play the Seahawks, I don't know. That's going to be a tough game for them.
Well, maybe the Seahawks are going to be a tough game regardless because it's the Seahawks and they, for whatever reason, had Detroit's number.
So that's going to be a real tough. If their first week matchup in the wild card is against the Seahawks, that's going to be a real tough game, real tough matchup for them. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and Chance posted it in the group chat as the game was going on, something about the moon, and I was like, "Oh,
let me explain
it's
this.
gonna happen.
So,
they're gonna lose."
I'm not sure how exactly you figured this out, but apparently, since the AFL NFL merger, when the moon is in a waxing gibbous phase, on Thanksgiving, the Lions always lose, and it was a waxing gibbous. Oh, it was a waxing gibbous on Thanksgiving. So, congratulations, Moon! You are Stonk's Player of the Week.
You know, one guy that I've been really impressed with on the Packers this year is Jaden Reed. Like, he always finds a way to score.
Well, we thought Watson would become his number one weapon. It's not. It's Reed. Reed's become his number one weapon.
Like, if you're in a league and Reed is available, I would go ahead and try and get him.
Yeah, but yeah, look, Lion, this is a temporary speed bump. Do I think they'll still have the division wrapped up? I do. But yeah, like you said, like Jared Goff, turnovers becoming a problem. He had 3 picks last week.
Real Josh Dobbs decided to show up too. So that helps the Lions.
We'll get to that. But no, I agree. Look, I agree with you. I think they're getting the number 3 seed. Unfortunately, I think that means they're playing the Seahawks week 1 of the wild card. And I think that's a bad matchup for them. I really think that's a bad matchup.
We'll see how that pans
Kenneth
out.
Walker for me, because I would not trust Geno Smith. I wouldn't want to rely on him to win a playoff game. I personally would, if it comes down to that, where Walker's not 100% back, which he should be. We're like 6 weeks away, so hopefully whatever injury that he has, he's not out for too long. I just would Lions offensively with Gibbs and Montgomery, I would feel better.
Yeah. We're still we are still a while away, but that's the concerning for the Lions right now. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be the number 3 seed. You're either playing Vikings or Vikings, Seahawks, or maybe the Rams jag one in. I don't think they will, but maybe and that's the concern is because they're not. We're all in agreement. The Lions can't win a divisional game. Not against week depends. 2 against the 49ers or 49ers. Yeah, actually it'd be if they make it to week 2, it would be against the 49ers.
It depends on what Lions show up, honestly.
Fair.
Wait, so
and also if Jared Goff can fix the turnover problem, because he had 3 picks last week, 3 lost fumbles this week, where he hadn't lost a fumble all season. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So now that I don't think the Lions end up being the 3 seed. I think they're the 4 seed, because I think it's Philly, San Francisco, Dallas.
Dallas can't be the 3rd seed.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be the 3rd seed because Dallas is the 5th seed. I think Dallas will be 5th, potentially 1st, but that's going to be this weekend decides that.
We'll get to that, the far crap. But anyways, let's talk about Dallas, because Turkey Bowl Part 2, aka the Dolly Bowl, Washington Commanders versus Dallas Cowboys, and yes, the Dolly part is the only thing I cared about in this game. I'm just gonna be real.
Look, I know. Look, okay. This game, Dak Prescott said, "I'm number 2 in MVP." Right now, I think right now Dak is number 2 in MVP, and the game next week will be for MVP. The winner of that game, or whoever wins that game, and we go afterwards, they had the best performance from that game, will win MVP. That's where I think we're at right now. That's the only real big takeaway you can have from this game, I think, because it was such just a demolition and ugly one at that too.
I mean, Bland set that record.
That's
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, Duran Bland, congratulations, setting the single season record for pick sixes.
And it wasn't easy. Like, he
No.
should have been stopped.
He should have been stopped.
But not with, and look, with Garrett maybe injured, with, I really think that may have just summed up defensive. He may get defensive player of the year for it.
No, he won't. I promise you he won't.
If he gets another one, will he?
We get another pick six?
Yep.
Now.
Right now, he has more touchdowns than every single wide receiver on the Giants and Patriots.
Yeah. That made me laugh.
I mean, look, it's a great achievement. I don't think that makes. Yeah, I'm not ready to look. We had this conversation with Brock Purdy MVP.
He wants
the exact same fucking conversation.
But he's broken a record. Like, he's literally broken a record that I don't know if it's ever going to be broken again. So, like, that's the thing. Like, and not only that, he did it in 11 games. This isn't like he broke the record, but with the 17th game, there's a real chance he could demolish this record. So I really think there is a chance he does get Defensive Player of the Year.
There's a chance. I don't think he wins.
So
I think
excited, by the way. Quinn got so excited when he got that
pick.
He got more excited than Bland did. Like, he was like, because he knew. Like he sets him up. Like, he schemes it, and Bland just keeps just there.
Like I said, I keep thinking Dan Quinn's going to have a coaching job next year.
We literally have years of evidence as to why that's a bad idea.
We have so many.
And Josh McDaniels literally got a head coach job.
And look what happened.
There are so many prior examples of guys that are phenomenal coordinators, but
who are just not meant to be head coaches.
We're
going to talk about one later.
He did take them to the Super Bowl.
And proceeded to not do shit after.
They lost.
Yeah, because,
his specialty, which is crazy.
Look, you lose that Super Bowl, no one's coming back from that. That's it. You have to have a fresh start. Everyone on that team had to have a fresh start. But I really do think Dan Quinn next year will be coaching another team, or he'll be the head coach.
Whatever team that is, I'm sorry.
Or he'll be the head coach of the Cowboys. One or the other.
Oh, please, Cowboys, hire this man. He does. Great. What I said.
I could
great
see
work. Hire that man.
Dallas loses in the divisional round. McCarthy's out. Let's just go ahead and promote Quinn. Yeah,
I can see that coming, because again, right now, I think there is a very real chance they're going to be playing the 49ers week 2.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about more of that later. But yeah, this game was like real. We didn't talk about the Commanders at all. Commanders looked awful this game.
They were awful. They were genuinely awful. They fired the defensive coordinator, rightfully so.
Yeah, they were shocked. They were so bad they fired Jack Del Rio, which, granted, never should have been hired to begin with.
First of all, you traded away his 2 best defensive players. Like, what is he supposed to do?
I know that.
Well, no. You traded 2 of his best players, because Jonathan Allen's still there, Deron Payne's still there. But
look,
yeah.
I think it was the 2 that he traded away.
No,
Deron Payne. Deron Payne is the best player on that defense.
I completely get what you're saying. You're right. He was set up for failure. Always. They fired him early because they were always going to fire him. What I'm shocked by is Rivera kept his job when, hey, let's get rid of Rivera and we can see what Bieniemy's like. Unless Bieniemy has straight up said, I am not going to be the head coach of this team next year. That's the only reason that makes sense for why Rivera still has his job. I do not understand why Rivera is still the head coach of this team.
Affirmative action? I don't know.
For Bieniemy, though, so it's the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if it works that way. You trade one race for another. I guess it's equality. I don't know.
It's weird because some weeks they look like they have a franchised quarterback, and then some weeks you're just like, no.
And then some weeks it's like this.
You're like, nope, he is not.
How can he be consistent?
Well, I'm going to give Sam Howell a little bit of benefit of the doubt. I think he's definitely their quarterback next year. And I think the biggest problem he has is that O-line is horrific. It's awful. And because of that, he's just not gonna. I think that is the biggest problem that they have right now, and that Sam Howell has. That O-line is so bad. What's he meant to do? Like, he tries his best.
But yeah, Washington got a lot of stuff to figure out. Dallas, again, good win, but do I trust you in the long term? No, I do not.
CD didn't
'Cause,
actually
you're
look that
doing
great
this-
in this game. Like, I was
And
a little
above
like,
all else, they stole food from the poor on national television, and that I cannot abide.
yes, they did, didn't they?
Look, the next
Uh,
3 weeks is going to be huge for Dallas. Next 3 weeks is huge for them because they start playing their gauntlet. They've got and look, that's the whole thing. The Eagles have gotten through their gauntlet. Well, I've for the most part gotten through their gauntlet. Let's see what happens. Next week. Like next week's game. Well, this next week's game is huge, but the week after that is massive, absolutely massive.
Yeah, they got
let's talk-
they could go I could see them going 0-2 easily. I could also see them going 1-1 or 2-0. It just depends on which Dak shows up. For me, that's the X factor in their next two.
Yeah.
And also which McCarthy shows up. Like which game skill McCarthy shows up. We talk about that right now. Let's talk about Turkey Bowl Part 3. The Tryptophan Bowl, kind of. Because I feel like when we watched this game like half asleep.
I went and saw
it felt like the Seahawks half asleep too.
I was half asleep when I watched this the first time.
Yeah. I watched the first half and then I went and saw Wish. That was my Thanksgiving. The first half it was like, well, this is over. I'm done. Okay. Great. 3 blowouts on Thanksgiving. Just great.
The thing is, the Seahawks had a chance. They had a chance to bring it back, but the offense just could not capitalize on what San Fran was giving them.
Yeah, I will rescind any and all. Look, what I said at the start of the season is why I need to just back my takes, because I was actually about 5 of my takes from the start of the year have actually come true, and I'm so mad that I didn't back them. Brock Purdy is going to cost this team a Super Bowl this year. Brock Purdy keeps making dumb mistakes, and it's going to cost the 49ers a Super Bowl, because this team should win a Super Bowl. If this team had competency at quarterback, they would win a Super Bowl. But Brock Purdy is going to cost them a Super Bowl.
Has all these weapons on offense. That defense, they have studs at every level of that defense. That defensive line scares me. If I'm a quarterback or I'm a running back, I'm like, oh my, crazy.
And yet he's still throwing dumb picks. I just,
not to mention you have literally maybe the best offensive one of the best offensive line in football, anchored by the greatest offensive lineman in football right now, Trent Williams, and you're still being pressured to throw stupid interceptions.
Yeah. Hence why Brock Purdy is going to cost this team. Absolutely. Brock Purdy we're at the end of the season, we're going to go, they made a mistake trading Trey Lance, because they could have at least seen what he was going to be like.
On the flip side, though, Seattle, Gino, let me give you my address so you can write back, because I think it's over for you, buddy. Yeah. You had a good run last year, but I think it's over for you.
You got your money. This is it.
We saw a really good catch in this game, though, by Seattle.
Oh, that JSN catch was incredible.
Some people would try to compare it to the OBJ catch because it was like to the day. I'm like, no, OBJ's is literally.
I've seen one catch on the level of OBJ.
Don't say
that's
it.
George Pickens.
Oh,
it is George Pickens. Goddammit. I
knew that.
I will throw. I'm not even saying that as a Pittsburgh fan. I think that's an incredible catch. The motherfucker was horizontal. And halfway out of bounds.
It was a fantastic catch. It was a fantastic catch.
That was literally the highlight of my season last year. Let me have that.
Fair.
Let me have it.
Okay.
Given how bad you guys were last year. Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, we turned around. At that point, we were really bad, but we turned it around, and then we were really bad again this year. Then we're turning around. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I think I feel so bad because I was literally gonna say 49ers for the NFC West, and you talked me out of it, motherfucker. But now it's looking like okay, fine. I think they'll win the division. I don't trust the team long term, but because it is a Shanahan coach squad with Brock Purdy at the lead. But still, I do think that they will at least win the division.
Yeah, I think at this point, look, I pretty much think 1, 2, 3, and 5 are set. I don't see any major change. The only thing I could see possibly flipping is 1 and 5. That's the only thing I could possibly see. I think 49ers do get the number 2 seed. I don't think they get the number 1 seed at this point. And I think the Eagles and Cowboys are the only two that could maybe flip, and that's only if everything goes right for the Cowboys, which I don't think
for the next 2 weeks. Like it literally could flip within the next 2 weeks because Philly's next 2 games they could easily lose.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's where I'm at right now with the NFC. I think 1, 2, 3, and 5 are set. 4 is rotating.
4, who the fuck knows?
4, who knows?
4.
I mean, it's not like
it
last
changes
year
every week.
Look, it's not like last year where literally all 4 of them could have done it. This year, it's definitively 1 ain't. But
1 is not doing it. We'll get that later.
By the way, no, one of them made a change. You never know what could happen with a change.
We'll get to that,
like
I
it's
actually
only
want
like
to
3
talk about
games.
that. We will get to that.
Yeah,
But
it's only 3 games.
Yeah.
All right. Next game we're talking about. This is a game that I am really sad that Mike is not here for, because it is the Black Friday game, the very first Black Friday game. Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets on Amazon Prime. Now, look, coming into the season, this was a very hyped up match. We're getting Tua versus Aaron Rodgers on a new landmark day, and the Jets, who are actually now pushing to be the Black Friday team. I feel like Amazon saw that and said, absolutely fucking not. Or at least not with this quarterback. Because look, when you're starting Tim Boyle, that's bad enough. But things are so bad in West Jersey, people are asking whether Zach Wilson is really that bad. That's how bad Tim Boyle was.
Their second string is Simeon, right?
Yeah, I don't understand why. I wish Mike was here to ask who would you feel better with? And I know don't feel good about either. Would you feel better with Simeon or Tim Boyle?
I know. Okay, can I? All right. Look, I know you like him. There's a reason Tim Boyle is the quarterback right now and not Trevor Simeon. Because a certain quarterback has control over that team, and I can guarantee you, he said Tim Boyle goes in.
Oh, Rodgers?
Yeah. Guarantee you it. Sorry, the man's ego can't handle. If Simeon came out and played competently, he couldn't handle it.
I don't think his ego's that fragile. That if Simeon goes in,
I don't know.
You think his ego be damaged that much if Simeon goes in and wins a game?
Yeah, I do.
If Zach Wilson was doing it,
I think he wants to be the savior. I think he wants to come in. No, but in December, come in and be the savior of the franchise and look amazing. Because
you know how you do that? You fucking win this game so he can come back maybe this year. I know he's not coming back this year, but he can come. But so he can come back. It does. Zach Wilson beat the fucking Eagles. You think his ego's fine? It doesn't matter.
Still blows. That's their only loss.
That's still the weirdest.
No, that's the loss that makes me go. The Eagles are winning the Super Bowl. Because
you lose to Zach Wilson. That's it.
No, but every Super Bowl winner has that one loss where you just look at it and go, "How the fuck did you lose that game?"
Right? Yeah. But anyways, look. I had so much material prepped for Mike, but he's not here. So I can't throw in his face that you can say whatever you want. Kenny Pickett, he's never thrown a Hail Mary pick six. I could say that the Jets are not. I could say the Jets are not. Let me finish. not stunks of the week, not with one player, the entire goddamn team.
I think Garrett Wilson could have pushed out Holland at like the 3. Like he was running at that angle and then he kind of just gave up on. I was like, like there was no time left. So just push him out of bounds.
I mean, I think he figured someone else would get it, but also like, yeah, finish that. But yeah, like this was a very, very ugly game for the Jets. And look, depending on whose decision that was, start Boyle, because like I feel like Simeon's the better option. If that was Salah's call, look, if Jacob's wrong and that was Salah's call to start Tim Boyle, then he probably just took a situation that was bad and made it worse.
I think
because look, you thought Nathaniel Hackett offense was bad under Zach Wilson. Oh, they ain't got shit under Tim Boyle.
Yeah, and especially against this Dolphins defense, which I mean, it's improved, but it's still not good. And yeah,
it could also be from the higher ups saying we kind of want to tank without tanking, so we're gonna put in the lesser guy, make sure that we lose because right now they are a top 10 pick.
And they will get a half decent draft pick at least. Like right now, they'll be able to get a really good O lineman right now.
Yeah, which is what they need.
Exactly. So I mean,
they can try to do the all push again next year.
And then, but yeah, but what I could see happening is Aaron Rodgers asking, "No, I want a wide receiver." Which
I mean, he'd be justified.
Hard. I know, but I will laugh
so hard. Thing is, you don't have to take that with you. How deep that this wide receiver class is, you can get so many good ones in like rounds.
They had no second though, so they had to like wait till the 3rd round to get a receiver.
It could still be a good wide receiver. That's how deep this class.
Trade down. You're gonna have a top 10 pick. Anyway, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Point is, Jets in this game, god awful.
Tua wasn't that great either.
I feel like I sincerely believe everyone on the Jets should have their Amazon Prime account suspended indefinitely for the shameful display of football they put together.
I actually want to mention. Sorry, I want to touch on what he said. What Brendan just kind of threw out there. Tua wasn't great. Tua was not great in the first half.
He threw a pick 6 too. By the way,
this team and the pick 6 came
off 99 yards.
Sorry, the pick 6 came
like
off
20,
an interception. The pick 6, like the whole reason they threw the Hail Mary was Tua threw an interception with 2 seconds left. Like that was the whole thing. It started like, look, Tua's going to struggle in the playoffs. I keep saying this Dolphin team's going 1-0. They
still have not beaten a team over 500.
It's not only that. It's not that they can't. He sucks against good defenses. As soon as you play a half decent defense, he crumbles. And guess who? All 3 wildcard teams this year are going to have very good defenses because the AFC's offense has sucked this year. The defense from all of them are going to have really solid defenses. Tua is losing week 1. I am 100%. Dolphins will not win a single game in the playoffs.
I believe it, but they did win the first Black Friday Bowl. I'm sorry. One of my favorite things about this game was not anything on the field. It's Mike McDaniel on the sidelines, where I think Jets fans were yelling at him for standing next to a heater. And he literally just yells at them, "I'm cold, and I'm winning."
I'm winning.
McDaniel, my favorite coach. One of my favorite coaches in the NFL right now. I love that dude.
He's so great.
He is.
He's so funny. Up next, we have the going on our Sunday slate. We have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons in what was really a battle for NFC South supremacy. Delete this division. Delete this division immediately.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Yes, please, expeditiously.
And there's no even like looking at it, honest, in all seriousness, looking at all 4 teams in the division, it's going to be this bad next year. There's no there isn't that they're a quarterback away. Oh, they're a coach away. Oh, they're no.
And imagine Derek Carr ends up leaving back to Las Vegas.
Unless Atlanta trades for Kyler.
Yeah, okay. If the Falcons get a half decent quarterback, maybe, but then they need to get a half decent quarterback and a new head coach
Decent coach.
because at minimum. But like,
How would Arthur Smith use Kyler Murray?
oh, he'd make him a pocket passer.
Make a pot. No. He had him hold the extra points. That's it. That's all he had him do.
I mean, Bijan, like he finally used Bijan the way he should this week, so that was good for fantasy purposes.
Only took 12 fucking weeks, but yeah.
Like right now with this whole division, the Saints have a 25% salary cap that they're over. They're in trouble. The Falcons are the closest that you could say they could be a legitimately good team. However, I also don't know it's the Falcons and they won't make intelligent decisions. The Panthers don't have a first round pick next year. They literally traded a first, two firsts, DJ Moore and a second, I think, for Bryce Young.
Also, the pick that they traded ended up being Carter for Philly.
Yeah, that's right.
Just to think about what they if you're a Panthers fan, you have got to be livid.
Yeah.
Because you're about to miss out.
One of my best friends is a Panthers fan. He is livid.
Yeah. And then the Bucks, like, look, I like.
We'll talk about the Bucks. I said a lot of good things about Todd Bowles that I really didn't take back. We'll talk
about the one positive the Bucks have is they did what the Saints should have done. They took their medicine this year. They've paid off the credit card. So we'll see where they go next year. The problem they're going to have this year is they might not have a very good draft pick because they keep winning games, but then they also keep. Yeah.
But because of this win, the NFC South is Atlanta's to win now.
At this point.
So Desmond Ridder for me showed signs this week that he could, but then he had some just stupid interception. I'm like,
that's the frustration, Desmond Ridder. Like there are times where he'll look really good, but then he'll be Desmond Ridder again.
If you had a competent head coach, you literally have the amount of weapons on that offense.
Yeah.
Give that to Bryce Young, and what is?
Oh,
can you imagine Bryce Young on that offense?
You give that to Bryce. You give that to Bryce Young. We're sitting here saying, is this one of the greatest 1-2 pairs combos we've ever seen in the NFL? Like that, there is we're seriously sitting there going, is this one of the greatest first draft pick and second overall pick and of all time, where these two kids could end up going on and playing each other for the next decade of just these are going to be incredible.
Yeah. We're not getting that though.
Nope.
That could still happen. They've
ruined Bryce. Bryce is done. The Panthers have ruined Bryce.
We'll talk about Bryce later. But
by the way, I hate Derek Carr so much because I took stacks of Derek Carr and Chris Olave in multiple leagues, and I was like, "This is gonna feast." But then I'm like, "God damn you, Derek! Like you ruined this team."
Derek
Carr. He gets inside the 20 and he makes stupid decisions.
Again, that's also like having to do with a Pete Carmichael. Pete Carmichael, I have no idea how that dude still has a job.
No,
like Pete Carmichael is genuinely in the conversation to be the worst OC in the league right now, and that's saying a lot because there's someone else who might have him and Nathaniel Hackett, two of the genuine worst OCs in the league right now since Canada's gone.
But now we at least know how Nathaniel Hackett has his job. I have no idea how this guy has his.
Pete Carmichael's still here.
Like Hackett, okay, he's Rodgers' guy, and Rodgers ain't ever gonna, and Rodgers wants him there. Okay, fine. I don't agree with it, but whatever. Carmichael, how the hell does he still have a job? How? What photos does he have?
But speaking of bad OCs, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, look, I do have to eat a bit of crow here. I came out and I said that the Steelers might look a little better on offense, but they probably would not have a 400-yard game. Mike Sullivan, Eddie Faulkner, I apologize. I bowed down. You know more than I do. And look, we in America, Jacob, you should know this now. In America, we have these things called tax refunds, in which case you can ask the government for money in exchange for money that they took from you. I and every single fan out there is filling out forms right now for refunds on wins that Matt Canada apparently cost us. Because if all it took was getting rid of that dude to have an offense that looked competent.
Jake Browning is all I'm going to say.
Jake Browning, and you only won by 6 points with Jake Browning.
I was not finished.
Quarterback.
I was not finished. Jake Browning's not playing defense. So there's that. Secondly, look, I'm just impressed they can move the ball. I'm not saying we look great. I'm not saying we look good. We look competent. Which, in our case, that's an improvement. That's a step forward.
Where else were you supposed to go? You can't get any worse.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like we could have gotten worse, but we didn't. We got better.
No, that's not.
We're using the middle of the field. The run game's looking really good, or better. Not really good, but better. Look, I was going to bring it up. How you and I brought it up. We need to start finishing drives. That's the one issue we have now. We need to finish drives in the end zone. No field goals. And look, if it wasn't for a tipped pass that Jamar Chase caught, really good play by Jamar Chase, by the way, they probably don't score a touchdown.
Nice. He caught tip balls twice in this game.
Yeah. If it weren't for those splash plays that didn't go in our direction, they probably don't get in the end zone at all.
You know what really, 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 really sucks? And now I'm realizing there's a real chance the Steelers go to the fucking conference final.
They do.
Have you looked at their schedule? Yes. They don't play a real defense for the rest of the season until the Ravens, who's divisional and they know how to beat. Then week 1, they're going to play fucking Tua. And then week 2, they're going to play. And then week 2, they're probably going to end up playing the Ravens week 2. And hey, it's the Ravens. They know how to play them. So they're in the division conference or final. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, there's no guarantee we're 5th seed because, like, honestly, division for us still up for grabs. And I'm calling it right now. Week 18, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. That's gonna be prime time, guys. Guys, gonna be for the division.
Nah, I don't think it's for the division. I think Ravens have it locked up by week 7.
They can't lock it up. I think they can't lock it up.
They should.
Yeah, they can.
No, they can't. Like we have a better division. We have a better divisional record to them.
Okay, yes. However, if you do not, you are 2 games behind them, so it is a chance.
But they have the tiebreaker right now.
Yeah, but if you lose a game and the Ravens don't, the Ravens have just as easy of a schedule as you do. Like,
the Ravens going to bye next week. So if we win, I don't think they'll have it locked up. I think that it will be 8 weeks. It will be for the division.
By week 17, they might. There is a chance they have it locked up by week 17.
There's a chance. I don't think it is. I'm still calling it Sunday night. Steelers versus Ravens. But yeah, so this was like, I just wanted an offense to move the ball down the field. They did that. I don't care about the points. I care about because I don't care about the points because no one else cares about the points when we're getting outgained every game and still losing. Because people love to throw that out. No one threw out that our defense was a top 10 scoring deep or top 5 now. No one brought our defense was a top scoring defense. They just brought up the yards. So I'm going to bring up the yards. So you know what? I just think it was hilarious how we fired Matt Canada and the very first game that he's not there put up 400 yards on offense. I'm like,
did they ever have a 400-yard game with him as OC?
No.
So
they had not
the last time they did
a 400-yard game since 2020.
This just makes how long they held on to him even more mind-numbing.
Yeah,
like I said, I want refunds for all the win that man cost us, because I'm sure there's a lot now. But yeah, this is when I wish Mike was here so I can just throw that in his fucking face, but he's not. Throw in his face next week.
Cincy should do the same thing the Jets are doing. Try to not win. Like there's no benefit of you winning
at this point.
At this point now. Up next, seeing candidate for game of the week, Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. And look, let's just say it right now. Texans got hoed in this game. by the refs.
Yeah. Two big catches.
2 big catches. One of them I kind of went, all right, fine, that's fair enough. The other one, the illegal shift. Come on.
Yeah, I watched that play like 10 times. I cannot tell who else was shifting at the same time.
Yeah. It's like that one pisses you off. But, my big takeaway from this game was, why the hell do you give Matt Amendola, of all fucking kickers, a 59-yard field goal to tie the game? Like,
And then cut him.
like the
Then cut him.
yeah, the ball. Honestly, it is better to just put the ball in CJ Stroud's hands and say, "Fuck it, let's see what happens." Like, and then in your press conference when you get asked, just say, "We had Matt Amendola as our kicker." What do you expect? Like, the dude can't kick over 50 yards. He just can't. And for a 59-yard field goal, that's he was.
I mean, look, he can kick over 50 yards. He can't kick over 58, as we've learned.
Yeah, like if that's 57, it's in.
Yeah, which admit it, and look, that comes on Stroud because that sack was really dumb. There was like in that down, the sack he took, you can't take that sack. You've got to get rid of the ball. You've got to throw it away, and he didn't. And yeah.
Also, future GMs, listen to your star quarterback. If they say go draft this guy, go draft this guy. He told them after day 1, I want Tank Dell. It worked.
Yeah,
it worked. It's going well.
Like I said, look, he's wrapped up Rookie of the Year. I don't think anyone's taking Rookie of the Year from CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud had a massive impact on a certain other coach getting fired. Like I think if CJ Stroud isn't playing this well, a certain team still has their head coach right now. I think because of how well CJ Stroud is playing, that's why.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the team now. Let's rip that Band-Aid off. Carolina Panthers versus the Tennessee Titans. This is like, I'm alarmed that this is not, the fact that this is not an unwatchable game of the week is really, really tough. It says a lot about the game slate this week that this is not an unwatchable game of the week, because this is two offenses struggling to really do anything. Like, passing wise, this is an awful game.
That last play of the game. Are you kidding me? It's like 4th and 8, and you throw a wide receiver. Like, yeah, I get that your O-line is not good, but you got to give yourself you have to throw it down the field. You have to give yourself a chance.
The only notable thing in this game was Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, and he didn't even have that good a game. He just was able to move the ball. He's the only thing Tennessee had going for him that day.
No,
definitely defense.
Panthers don't have an O-line. Panthers don't have a defense. They're a bad team, and
no offensive weapon. Like, you're gonna have to offer someone a lot of money to take this job. And also, can I be Frank Wright when I grow up? The man's getting paid by 2 teams to not work,
to not coach them. You bring that up, and yes, after this loss to Tennessee Titans, after going 1-10 in his last 11 games, at the first 11 games as Patriots head coach, Frank Reich has been fired. So long, farewell, I'll be the same. Get the fuck out of here! It's hilarious to me that we have it's a rarity to see head coaches get fired in their first year. We've literally now had it happen 3 times in the last 3 seasons.
I think it's going to start becoming a bit more of a norm. I do. I think more and more people are going to start. Owners are getting frustrated, especially given the lack of, hey, the last 5 years, it's been the same players, same teams that are always in the Super Bowl, or towards the top end of, it's been Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. There was 1 year it wasn't. And that's where we're at right now. And since 2018. Well, actually, no. Sorry, since 2015. There's been 1 year without Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Was it
Kinda
since when?
boring.
Since 2015. Since Manning retired, every year a Super Bowl has had either Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. Except 1 year. Except the Rams Bengals.
Yeah. No, I think it's.
I think
Yeah,
that
that's about
continues
right.
this year, because I think Kansas City right now, until someone shows me otherwise, I think Kansas City's the best in the AFC.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, Baltimore.
I don't.
No,
What?
I think the whole experience with Andy Reid, because first of all, Harbaugh is a awful coach. He never gets his guys ready for big game, like teams they should whoop on. Like they should have manhandled the Chargers, which we'll get into later. Like they just like teams that they should just absolutely dominate. They don't. They barely squeak by.
Anyway, but like, okay, going back to the Panthers, we'll talk about the Ravens and why Chance is wrong. But look, Frank Reich being fired, dude was in a no-win scenario.
No, he was.
I would love to know who made the call. Who made the call to go up and get the number 1 overall pick? Was that owner? Was it GM? How the GM still has his job, I'll never know.
There was a clip that came out today that Tepper, their owner, basically said he wanted Young because he thought that. So I guess the reason that they traded up is they thought the Texans were going to take Young, so that's why they traded so much to get in front of them.
But like I just at this point, and I get it, he's the owner, and hey, you got to listen to the owner. But Frank Reich's become the scapegoat of, like, admittedly, he had, okay, don't get me wrong, he hasn't been coaching well this year at all.
No.
Like he deserved to be fired, but at the same time, I don't think Andy Reid does well in this team right now. I don't think, like, given the constraints he is under, even the greatest coach of all time, Don Shula, doesn't do well on this team. Like, there is no coaches would do well right now with this Panthers team because you have handicapped them so much with that trade. That trade now especially has just completely borderline destroyed your franchise. Like, this is franchise destroying.
That it's not just that trade. Matt Rule messed up the personnel on this team so bad. It's gonna take a magician.
That's the funny thing. It's not just Frank Reich that got fired. Quarterbacks coach Josh McCown got fired. Deuce Staley got fired. Like, they just completely overhauled their offensive coaching staff.
Again, and I asked the question, how the hell does the GM keep his job after he's the one who hired Matt Rule and Frank Reich at this point? I don't know.
One thing I can think of is that he went to the owners. All right, I realize I made mistakes with these last 2 coaches, this Bryce Young thing. Give me one more shot to try and fix this.
It makes no sense. Like, at this point, Panthers fans, you're in for, honestly, this is a 7-year rebuild. This is a long stretch of a rebuild. It's why Bryce Young's ruined. Bryce Young will never be a genuine bona fide quarterback in the NFL. I think within 4 years he's out and he's Mitch Trubisky. It's
they'll put that on Peter Pocket Bryce Young.
Because he's gonna get murdered. He's gonna have no weapons. What are they gonna do? Like, honestly,
they have to sign T. Higgins. That should be, if they
get a weapon, get some O linemen.
Who? Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, what with what? You don't have the cap space. You don't have the draft capital. And then the players you do have suck. So what? Like, what are you gonna do at this point? The Panthers are in for a lot of trouble, and I agree. I don't know who's coming to coach this team. I really don't. Like, you're gonna have to get you're honestly going to have to do what the Texans have done for the last 3 years, which is just hire a random coach and probably fire them like at the end of each year.
Cycle through head coaches and make sure.
Yeah, I like realistically, yeah, to just
accidentally get the right dude.
Just to like get through the next couple of years, because you're in for a rough drought. And no, especially this year, given personally, I think we're going to have 10 vacancies. You're not going to get good talent. This is the worst job in football by far. Like the Raiders job looks better than this right now. So you are in for a long haul. You are not going to get the talent you want with this team, especially in a year when there are going to be a lot of coaching vacancies, a lot of them. So
seriously,
I don't know
like,
what you
just think about, like, there's probably going to be the one at the chart. Like, who would you rather have? A roster that's somewhat decent in the Chargers, or a roster with nothing in the Panthers?
Right now, the Saints, like right now, the Saints probably it looks like a better job. If that one's up for grabs,
you're a pretty talented roster with the Saints.
So
you're a pretty talented roster with the Saints.
Yeah, I know, but you're 25% over the cap. You're gonna have to like, at some point,
you got to make some money somewhere.
Cap doesn't exist.
At some point, you got to pay that bill. At some point, it does come due. So that we are really at that point where I don't know what's going to happen with this team. Like, realistically, I could see, I could, if the NFL expands in the next couple of years, I could see this becoming one of those teams that gets pushed and moved.
the Nigeria Panthers.
Anyway,
the London Panthers.
Yeah, sorry guys. 2015 was your chance, and you guys are in for you guys aren't getting back to a Super Bowl probably in the next 15 years, unless you hit on a draft pick in 4 years from now.
Up next, collision of the South cross conferences. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Indianapolis Colts in a game that was honestly pretty competitive for most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about this game is like there's two teams who struggled a bit passing. I mean, not, again, no one's like scoreboard up on fire passing wise. Running wise, though, both these teams did really well.
Well, Colts are in trouble because Taylor's out for like 3
Yeah. That's the thing. Colts end up winning this game at a cost. Jonathan Taylor's going to be out for the next 3 weeks.
Oof.
Yeah, with a thumb surgery. I don't know how a thumb surgery
like, no! These next 3 weeks for fantasy for a lot of people is huge.
Yeah, especially now that playoffs are heating up, so that's going to be rough. But
not only that, well, this is going to have Look, if anything, it's fucking help me, like because you know that the Colts are one of the teams, and like that's going to help the Bills. You know, just right now, that 7th seed in the AFC is going to be rough this year. Whoever gets it.
Yeah, can't KC enjoy your free win?
No, Jags.
You think Jags get 2 seed?
Jags or Ravens get the 2 seed? Yeah.
Again, I
just Kansas City are getting the 1 seed.
Still don't believe it, but we'll get that later.
I mean, Chance, you literally said you think Baltimore is going to be coming down to winning the division in Week 18. There's no way that they are the 1 seed at that point. If you,
it's just a matter of like just winning games. So like, I'll get to that later. But talent wise, I would easily take Baltimore. On like product wise, I'd easily take Baltimore over Kansas City. Right now, at least. Only reason I say bad for the division because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers and they always struggle with this team. Specifically, Lamar Jackson struggles with that team. I don't know why, but he just does. It's like the Niners. It's like the Niners to Aaron Rodgers. Like for whatever reason, he cannot beat them.
This I think Todd Bowles. Yep, he needs to be fired. Sorry, dude.
Look, I said a lot of good about Todd Bowles this season. I'm like, okay, maybe I underestimate Todd Bowles. No, you need to go. He's done. He's
Todd
not the
Bowles
guy.
needs to go. Baker's not. Baker hasn't been horrific. Like he hasn't been as bad as he was at Carolina.
He's had horrific moments, but nothing like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Yeah, like he's playing decently. I think he's their quarterback next year. Like I do think he's their starting quarterback next year. But then after that, but I also think Bucks draft someone if they can. Like if someone falls, they draft someone.
Shadir Sanders, welcome to Tampa Bay.
Is he? I don't think he's.
No, I don't think he's gonna be in the draft.
Yeah.
Or if he is, I think that back injuries probably
I
won't be a
think
first round.
Jaden Daniels.
McCarthy.
No, Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels might be a Buck.
Moving on to our unwatchable game of the week.
Quite literally.
This matchup used to have class. It used to have names. It used to be something. And now it's this. 2 Super Bowls. Both of which were excellent because Tom Brady lost. But no, we now have to watch Mac Jones versus put your hand there, buddy. Tommy DeVito. Jacob, put your hand up. There you go. This game was like I was gonna be pro. This game was an affront to football, like on every single level. And we've been saying it a lot, but now I feel like this game solidifies it. Bill Belichick's not in New England. Like,
yeah,
he ain't coming back. I feel like he
Absolutely.
retires. I feel like he might retire after this year.
No, he wants the record too badly. He is going to coach another team. He's just going to go to Chargers. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. He will coach the Chargers next year.
I don't think the Patriot way never works outside of New England.
I know,
so
but
the Patriot way is not working in New England right now.
But he at least gets a quarterback. He finally gets another quarterback again. And are you telling me with those defensive weapons that with a competent head coach like Bill Belichick is, he can't make them really good again?
I'm not sure.
I just don't see him going somewhere where he's not the GM as well.
Yeah.
So he'd have to find a team that I just think his ego wouldn't allow it. Like he would.
Then it's going to be then it is going to become, what do you care more about? Do you care more about breaking Schuler's record, or do you care about being GM? Because if he does it, because if it is he cares more about being GM, then chance, yep, you're 100% right. He's going to retire. Like then he will be done. But if he wants Schuler's record, if that is what he is after, he will have to accept you're not going to be GM, or he's going to go to a terrible team. He could go to the fucking Panthers. Who knows?
I was about to say, I'm like, Carolina, like you may just want to fire your GM to let him do both.
Like, yeah.
Jake, sure.
Jake would love that, wouldn't he?
That would be hilarious. But like, yeah. I mean, this is the game badly offensively, which is crazy considering the Patriots had like a pretty decent day on the ground between Stevenson and Elliott. I think they racked up like 179 yards on the ground. Sorry, 147 yards on the ground. In my favorite recurring joke of the 2023 season, Mac Jones benched once again.
There's no way he starts again. There's no way.
Oh no, but please keep starting him.
He starts this week. I really do. I think against
and then bench him in the third quarter again, and Zabby comes in and leads a score drive.
I think
he'll keep starting.
I think he does start against the Chargers, and because that defense is so goddamn fucking awful, he doesn't get benched.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know why they keep throwing him back in there just to take him out of the game later. But for the love of God, Bill, keep doing it because I find it funny
because they want Caleb, and at this point they're getting Caleb. We didn't talk about this with the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers I think made a mistake firing Frank Reich solely because this team's now going to fuck around and find out they're going to win at least one game. and it's going to call, and the Bears are
Bears
sitting there.
fans are
well,
gonna be pissed.
The Panthers didn't make the mistake. Sorry, the Panthers didn't make the mistake. Bears fans are sitting there going, "Are you kidding me? We could have had the number 1 pick again, and we're not." Like, what happened last year is going to come back and bite them in the ass.
I could see them winning this week. I really do.
Yeah. But yeah, a god awful game. Tommy DeVito, sure, you scored a touchdown. Congratulations, But like this, these are two miserable. First of all, proud Tommy DeVito making any quarterback with the last name Jones look really bad. Either Matt McCorkle or Daniel, both fine. But yeah, the Giants are another team like indefinitely to a quarterback. They could take one in the first round this year.
Well, so the loser of this game was officially out of the Drake May, Caleb Williams sweepstakes. They're out officially. So Giant. Sorry.
So the winner was out or the loser's out?
Yeah, the losers. So the winner was out. Sorry. So the Giants are out.
So
Giants,
winning make them a loser.
Yeah, realistically, yeah. Winning this game was the dumbest thing the Giants could have done. So now, I mean,
they can trade up.
So they're at 6 right now.
They could get like Michael Penix at 6.
Yeah, like that's the thing. You're not going to get Caleb and you're not going to get Drake. But Penix, you could get like I said, Jaden Daniels, you could get Bo Nix, you could get, like, there are going to be quarterbacks, but it's not going to be the two that everyone keeps talking about that are going to be able to start week 1.
But also, like, as if Bill is there as a GM, do you honestly trust him to take the right guy with 2nd overall? I don't. He'll take a D3 long
6.
snapper.
New England's 3 right now.
Yeah, New England's 3.
Do you trust him? I don't trust him.
New England's
like a D3 long snapper will trade down to get like 1,000 7th rounders.
If it happens and they have this number 2 or the number 1, I think Kraft makes the call. I honestly think Kraft goes in and says, "This is who we're taking." I don't think Bill gets the call. Bill. If Bill is still the coach next year, which is a big if, but if he is, I think Kraft goes, I am putting my foot down. This is who we draft.
Yeah. Moving on to our next game, Buck. We got your boys, the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Buck, I will let you have the floor first.
We decided to just not play run defense. Like, we gave up like 200 total rushing yards between Kyron Williams and Royce Freeman. Like, I think Kyron finished with like 130 rushing yards, like 30-40 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. So in his first game back, and I knew this was going to happen because last time we played the Rams, he ran all over us. I think defense finally just is done. Like, they had been fighting so hard to keep us in so many games, and they're just like, we're done. Kyler, I was disappointed with this one with Kyler. I thought he had looked decent in his first 2. He can't throw a spiral right now. I don't know what's going on. Like, there's got to be something with his wrist or his hand, because he has so many wobble throws.
You have been the biggest proponent that I know of Kyler staying in Phoenix. He's staying at the Cardinals. I think this was the game where it started to finally go, they might trade him. They might.
Yeah, this was the one I'm like, you know what? If you wanted to trade him to Atlanta for Atlanta's
look too bad right now.
Mine is the one I say, Giants, give us that pick, that one pick, and that's it. I think that's worth it. I think Giants for the 6th overall pick for Kyler, I'd take it. And I think the Giants are going to be that desperate, they will, because the Giants are that desperate for a quarterback. So, and given where they were, given 2 years ago, they were in the playoffs. Like, they've got the team to make the playoffs. They just need better quarterback play. And I think you can get that from Kyler. So,
Yeah, in this game, I wasn't sure if it was play calling or if it was Kyler, because the first drive of the game, they looked really good. Like that first drive, I was like, okay, that was pretty impressive. Like Rams go and score a touchdown, and Cardinals come right back and answer. They literally did nothing else the entire game.
No, literally, yeah, this game looked competitive for about a quarter, and that's it.
Yep.
Then the Rams took the gloves off and proceeded to beat the ever-living shit out of Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly.
It was ugly.
I still like.
Kyle Williams had a great game. Had a great day.
Yeah, he did. Like ran all like every play. Like, oh, there's 6 yards. Oh, there's 8 yards. Oh, there's a 30-yard run.
Yeah, passing wise, couldn't. I mean, they spread the ball out. Cooper Kupp didn't get as much as I thought he would, which sucks because I really need Cooper Kupp to go off in this game, but it is what it is. Even Puka Nacua didn't have a great game, and he's perma-stonks on this show.
I mean, freaking Higbee got 2 touchdowns. So if you had him as your tight end, I bet you were pretty happy.
Yeah,
I think this was his first game back in a while too.
Yeah, but Arizona, the great tankathon continues, and joining Carolina as one of the only teams with double-digit losses on the year. I'm sorry, double-digit losses on the year.
I just want Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, to be honest, for me, that's who I want them to get.
I don't know if that's happening. I think if they trade Kyler, they're getting a quarterback.
Well, yeah.
If they've got the number one, if they've got 1 or 2, they're grabbing either Caleb or Drake.
The thing is, I could see Monty trading that pick for multiple picks because there's like the entire roster is a mess. So you need as many picks as you can get. Because this year he has hit on most of his draft picks, which never.
But that's why I said that's why I say Giants for the 6th overall, and that's the one you trade. The other one you use to grab an elite quarterback, and then 6 you draft with 6 is that's what you then trade to try and grab some more positions like O-lineman.
So at this time last year, they weren't in the running for being in the top 3 for draft picks. So a lot can change over the last 5-6 weeks. So I think it's very important for Kyler, if he wants to stay there, he needs to play well.
Well, let's think. So right now, Kyler and Fields is just the other one. They're both playing for their jobs. We said we'll talk about it in a minute. Actually, we can talk about it now if you want. The Broncos game. Russell Wilson was playing for his job too, and guess what? He has now put them in a position where they can't draft a quarterback. They can't draft a decent quarterback, at least. Like, they're stuck with Russell Wilson. Like, Wilson has secured his job, at least.
To be fair, let's move on. To be fair, the way he's playing now, there are worse things than being stuck with Russell Wilson.
Absolutely. No, and that's the thing. But that's my point. If Kyler and Fields started doing that and winning games, well, more so, you're putting your team in a position where they can't draft a quarterback. And it's kind of, well, you're stuck with me now. Like, Fields maybe less so because, he's not he doesn't have the multi-million-dollar contract. But the Cardinals, they are stuck with Kyler unless they try and trade him. And another team takes that contract. Russell Wilson did the same thing. And over the last 5 weeks, they've won 5 games in a row and they have looked impressive. They have looked very good. I'm not willing to say that. Look, I still don't think they're making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. They might by default because everyone else just keeps dropping.
I think they could sneak in. I think they could just
they could be that
kind of roll in, like stumble in because everyone else keeps just not playing well.
Weirdly enough, though, like the Broncos at this point, like they're kind of clicking. It's strange. Like the fact that they gave up 70 in one game on a 5-game win streak, and currently, I'm sorry, not currently in the playoffs, but like they're like within spitting distance of making it.
I think they're like I think they're in the hunt.
Well, next week, if they win next week, they're in the playoffs. Essentially, like that's where it starts. If they win next week, they're basically guaranteed, like not guaranteed. Sorry, they win next week. They're going to be in the playoffs in the little bracket thing, but they're still not guaranteed a spot. But yeah, because they played. Who do they play? They play the Raiders, so that gives them a division win and a conference win. So,
No, we'll get to that.
but that and the
yeah.
win against the Chiefs is going to massively help them in tiebreakers. Not many other teams have that.
100%. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
this win helps. This win's
It
massive.
does. It really does. It also helps Pittsburgh. So Broncos, thank you very much.
Yeah, it does. This was a massive win for the Broncos. This is like there's no sugarcoating this one. This is a huge win because you've now got the tiebreaker against the Browns, who are one of the teams that you're now going to have to go up against. And now the Browns might be without Myles Garrett and they might be without DTR. That's concerning.
Yeah.
That hit though was brutal.
Yeah.
That was a brutal hit. Legal hits.
Yes.
I will say it was not dirty. Hardly legal.
But yeah.
DTR was knocked out of the game with was it concussion?
Yeah.
Or was it something else?
No,
yeah. So you now had to go under PJ Walker, and once you do that, once that happened, the offense died.
Yeah. Look, I know and that's going to be the big concern for the Browns. I know Myles Garrett isn't out, but like they're saying
Cooper
he
got hurt too, right?
Who, sir?
Cooper?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did.
He got banged up.
Yeah, but that's where we're at right now for the Browns. Injuries are going to start really hurting this team, and like they've got an easy run. That's the one thing for them. Out of everyone in the AFC in that wild card spot, they've got one of the easiest runs. But if you've got PJ Walker and your defense starts letting up points because Myles is injured, now it's going to start getting that easy run could lose one or two of those weird games that you're like, how did we lose that one? And suddenly you're out because I think from 6 to 12 is like 2 wins or something. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's all it takes is one bad loss and you're out. Like that's why I think the Bills are gone. I think we've got that bad loss and we're not going to come back from it.
We'll talk about that in just a second. But like speaking of this game again, Broncos they're putting it together in a way that we didn't think so. We gave a lot of criticism to both Russell Wilson last year, not so much this year, but last year for sure, and to Sean Payton this year mainly. But like I get trust the process. I guess he's turning it around. Like they're looking like pretty good.
They are. They're looking pretty good.
Like we officially know it was Hackett. Like we all like it is most evident now.
Yeah, more than anything.
I feel like we need to go back and like apologize to Russell Wilson for everything we might have. Mainly you, Jacob. Everything we might have said to Russell Wilson last season.
Washed is not the right answer. I still think last year really hurt his cause for a Hall of Fame. I really do think it.
I feel like after this year, especially how fucking good he is in the red zone. I feel like last year's gonna be written off as like, okay, that was just like that was like a weird fever dream that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So now that's who you really are.
Look, it's good.
And considering Gino's not doing great this year either.
Yeah, but that's what's going to be real interesting though for the Broncos is if they get that 7th seed and they play Jags week 1, or they get, and then that's where it starts getting real interesting is what can you do in the playoffs? Because Peyton is notorious. He's like McCarthy, he's a Super Bowl winning coach who blows it in the playoffs.
Yeah. So should have more than one Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he melts down in the playoffs. And I know one of them wasn't technically his fault, but like
it was not.
But still, you're in a position where you still could have won that game. It did go to overtime. You did get the ball. Like that's yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's all I got to say about this game. Cleveland, Yeah, I mean, you had a really good run, but now you're starting to look like you're in trouble.
Yeah, the injuries are starting to really pile up on Cleveland.
Moving on to our next game, Kansas City versus the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a game that looked pretty competitive for about a quarter, and then that's it. Kansas City woke up and just asserted their big brother status on the division once again. They were firing on all cylinders in this one for one of the first times in one of the few times this season I've seen them play really well. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Kansas City.
The fear is they've unlocked Rashid Weiss. That's the fear for non-Kansas City fans. If they've unlocked him, great. This is gonna be scary. Like legitimately scary team where cool, you have Kelsey and you have another fucking
They should
Someone
also
else-
use
someone else
Sky
on the ball
more than what they had.
Do you have Sky Moore in fantasy?
No. I just think the fact that you are trying
was a
to
big
rely on Valdez Scantling when we know what he is.
yeah.
He drops deep balls. Like everyone was shot last week. I was like, did you not see how many deep balls he dropped by Rodgers? Like Rodgers was just tired of him. Probably why he didn't want to stay with Green Bay.
Probably. Among other reasons. But yeah, in this game, and look, the Raiders tried. They really tried. Josh Jacobs ran the ball well. Aiden O'Connell didn't make any really bad mistakes. Like they just do not. And they say right now, they do not have enough to take on Kansas City.
No, not to take on Kansas City. But look, they're going to upset some teams going down the stretch. There's going to be one or two teams.
They're winning too much. They're not going to get a good QB in the draft, so they're going to have to go ahead probably and trade for one.
I think they keep Aiden O'Connell next year. I really do think they keep this coach, and I think they keep Aiden O'Connell next year and go, let's run it back. Let's see what
hopefully Davis learned his lesson because last time
he has. The way his apology video after that apology to the players of basically admitting he fucked up, I think he's learned his lesson. And I think that if they just go on a little bit of a win 2 more games this season, I think he'll keep his job. He'll keep the interim job. He'll get the head coach job next year. And they'll be like, all right, let's see how we go next year. Let's see how we go next year. I could see that happening.
Yeah. Moving on to our next. This is the game I really want to talk about. I know Jacob does not want to talk about it, but it is here. It's our game of the week: Buffalo Bills versus the Philadelphia.
What's a catch? I really want to know what the hell is a goddamn catch.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But look, the Eagles plagued by their biggest problem once again. They cannot play a full 60 minutes. They did fall behind early. Ironically enough, to the same deficits that Kansas City fell to. However, the biggest thing the Eagles have going for them that they do better than anybody else. They adjust and they rally. Yep. I don't think any team makes better halftime adjustments than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Look, I've been saying D'Amico Ryans for Coach of the Year all season, but Nick Sirianni's made himself a genuine, legitimate argument right now. A legitimate argument for the way that this team keeps, for how this team keeps coming back. Now, I also think he'll be punished because of,
how stacked the roster is?
No, I think he'll be punished because, why do you suck in the first half so much? I think he'll get punished. Why are you constantly putting yourselves in the position where you have to come back and Jaden Hurts has to be heroics? So I also think Hurts could, if he loses to Dak, could potentially cost himself MVP this year because those first halves are going to come back and bite him. Why do you suck so much in the first half only to be incredible in the second half? I think that narrative could happen if he loses to Dak. If he wins,
the biggest vulture of short yardage TDs I've ever freaking seen. If you're a running back or a wide receiver and you go down at the 2, you're like, God, like it's fine. We're about to score a touchdown, but like you gotta be pissed.
Yeah, it's like
you get down to the 2, it's like, God damn it! All right, fine, Jalen, take my money. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, I feel like this game firmly put him in the lead. He's already in the lead. He's now firmly in the lead for MVP. Like I would at this point be genuinely shocked if he were to lose.
I'm at a point where it's Jalen Hurts is to lose. I'm 100% on that. I just can see the game he loses it right now, and it's the Cowboys won in 2 weeks. That's the game. That is the only game I think if he loses that and Dak does another 300-yard game like he did in their last one and wins that game, I can see Hurts wins MVP. I can see Dak wins MVP.
Yeah, but we know Dak Prescott. We know we know how he is under pressure and we need to perform. He doesn't do it. Jalen Hurts does. Like this is a game where they need to win this in order to maintain supremacy of the NFC. And also the Buffalo Bills fighting for their lives. And Josh Allen came out like a dude fighting for his playoff life. He played excellent today.
And I'm sick to death. Like, and here's the biggest problem with this game. Okay, the defense wasn't the problem. The defense is the best I've seen them play all year. Like post injuries, this has been incredible. That was fantastic from the Bills defense. They actually were really good. They were stopping Hurts. They were pissing them off. You could see the Eagles were getting frustrated. Josh Allen played fantastic. That interception was dumb, but it wasn't the like, what are you doing, Josh kind of one. It was I'm not going to murder him for that one. Like, he played brilliantly and everything else. Even the option run at the end of the game, it's miscommunicated. Like it's an option run and the defender just managed to trick him. And that's well done. Like that's just very well done. Like it happens. What's so infuriating about this game, and the one that made me just go, my name is thank you, but no thank you. But thank you, but it's time to move on. With 20 seconds left, why do you kneel it? You have 2 timeouts, 20 seconds left. Why do you kneel that ball in a game where you have never, ever won overtime? Either of them. McDermott's never won overtime, and neither is Josh Allen. Why do you kneel it there? Why are you not at least attempting? Throw it once. What's the worst that can happen is Josh Allen throws a pick, and then they've got to somehow get back in field goal range. That's my infuriating of okay, cool. You either in that moment you didn't trust Josh Allen, or you're not brave enough to make that decision. And in that moment, you had to be brave enough to make that decision. So that's why. Thank you for everything, McDermott. It's time to move on.
Yeah, this is a game where going into the final into overtime, I should say. First of all, I didn't realize going into this, Josh Allen has never won an overtime game. It's never happened.
Actually, can we go before the overtime though? That last set of downs where
in the red zone.
Not that one. Take a fucking photo just before the field goal. Take a photo of Jason Kelce making 2 false starts in a row. You are never seeing that again. Like
that was crazy.
Yeah.
But like even more crazy, fucking Jake Elliott in the rain making a 59-yarder. Like that was insane.
As soon as he kicked that, I went, we're losing this game. Like I knew it. That was it. It was over.
I was like, and like I think it was third down. They go ahead. It's a incomplete. I'm like, God damn, this would be like a 55+ yarder. Like this should be it. And then I see the kick. I'm like, that is ice in your veins, clutch kick. Like that's what a kicker of that magnitude gets paid for. Make kicks like that.
And again, he didn't play it right. Like McDermott again didn't play it right. He iced him at the wrong time. It was just, I don't know. That was
Well,
frustrating.
we haven't talked about actual overtime, where the Bills won the coin toss. They had a chance to go down, and they were gonna do it, but Gabe Davis went one way, Josh Allen went the other way on a choice route, and it was that would have won the game. They would have won.
Would straight up won the game. But that's not even the one that actually wins the game.
Yeah, there's no communication between the receivers. They had to settle for a field goal. That's when Hurts turns it on. He said, like, okay, this is why I'm the best QB in the NFC and possibly in the NFL. And he proceeds to drive the team down the field, winning on a walk-off 10-yard touchdown run. Jalen Hurts was incredible in this game.
There's two calls that I want to talk about. One, the catch fumble. That wasn't a I'm fine with that call. That was the correct one. That wasn't a catch them fumble. The one from Hurts, which I think was early. I think it might have been earlier or it might have been later.
I think it was the fourth quarter.
I think it was the fourth quarter one. That one,
yeah.
If it wasn't a fumble, it was intentional grounding at 100.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not.
I'll
tell you why. I will tell you why it's intentional grounding. He was touched by a Buffalo defender. That's the only reason it's not intentional grounding.
But still, if you are touched, then and you throw the ball away.
He didn't. The defender he hit his arm as he was throwing it. So you could argue that it affected the trajectory of the ball. So at that point, you cannot call intentional grounding on that. That's the only reason it didn't happen.
Okay. Wow.
The thing with the AJ Brown play is we almost have a almost identical play with it in the Chargers-Ravens game, and they ruled that a fumble. Like, I watched both of them religiously. I'm like, I don't see that much of a difference between the two.
I think it's one of those ones where if they called it a fumble on the field, you don't overturn it. But because they called it incomplete on the field, you can't overturn it. I think that's what it is.
My only problem was
why do you call
AJ Brown catch? Good.
A zero blitz in the red zone against a team that's notorious for running QB draws?
Because
like that decision to me was like
McDermott's,
that's why
McDermott's done.
Like, that was a bad play. Like, you can't in that situation. Like, if you had a team that's not notorious for having literally the best offensive line in the NFL and a team that loves to run with their quarterback a QB draw, like, literally, like, they're coming from the backside too. So you're just like, oh, they just got to hold it and it's wide open on the left.
Yeah. Also to mention, my biggest thing with AJ Brown catch is the fact that, like, when you look at it, he never had full control of the ball. So by law of NFL, that's not a catch. That's why I think that wasn't ruled a fumble. He never had full control of the ball. So you can't say he made a football move. Can't be a catch.
Yeah. But that one, the other thing, look, we got how you 10-1 penalties in the first half is a joke. Like, that some of those penalties were bullshit. But anyway,
the funniest one was the Josh Allen intentional grounding one, where it was a flag not for a horse collar, which I'll give him that one.
He wasn't pulled down. That one.
He wasn't pulled down by the horse collar, so I give him the horse collar. Call that intentional grounding. Look, kind of hilarious because it looked like it popped out when he hit the ground. So I'm like, I don't know how you call that intentional grounding. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that one.
But yeah,
Bills
lost the game that they kind of needed to win. They really needed to win this one.
We did. It was we had to win it and we didn't, and that's just cost us our season. Like, again, there's a chance we make the playoffs, and I hope we don't at this point, because if we do, McDermott's going to keep his job, and I think we need a new coach. I think we need new blood to come in and just rejuvenate this team, because I think we're just constantly in the same rut over and over. And yeah, I mean, Allen needs an offensive head coach. He needs someone to help him get back to where he was. I'm really hoping the Giants do something dumb.
I was you want that firing so bad.
I want that one so bad. I have never wanted a coach being fired so badly. than Daboll because I need him back as our head coach. Like, yeah.
So speaking of Sunday night, let's talk about the Sunday night game: Baltimore Ravens versus the Los Angeles Chargers. We're gonna have two guys that kind of feel like they're fighting for their jobs. I mean, John Harbaugh for the entire season. Brandon Staley just every week feels like he's struggling to keep his job.
Brandon Staley shouldn't have a job anymore. So we
He shouldn't. He really should.
We turned this game off. The Suns were playing, and Taylor didn't want to watch this one. So yeah, we watched the Suns game instead.
Well, it's funny because
Keenan
like it was close.
Is
It was really close.
Master. Like if you have Keenan Allen in PPR, you have got to love it because that man just. I think it was either 10 of 10 or 11 targets to receptions in this game for Keenan Allen.
Yeah, if he finished the day with 14 for 106 on the day, I mean, it helps that that's the only viable target because Johnson has not panned out so far.
No,
what's funny about this is look, the Chargers had a chance. Like Justin Tucker had a very, very, very uncharacteristic miss, so the Chargers were only down by 3.
Justin Tucker is human.
All the Chargers had to do was trust Justin Herbert to go drive down the field and win the game. Justin Herbert could not go down the field and win the game. They ended up turning the ball over on downs, and Baltimore took this and ended up just was Zay Flowers, a guy the Chargers could have taken over Quentin Johnson, and he literally just like had like a little touch pass of 40 yards into the end zone. That's fucking allowed
run. Like it's actually classified as a run. By the way, the line on this game was Baltimore -3. So with the touchdown, I thought that was so funny. Like any other guy would have went down. Nah, man, he wanted to score, and then his touchdown celebration after this one was really funny.
Yeah, I mean, CSU had the best one of the weekend, but yeah. Brandon Staley, he adamantly declared that he's going to be calling the defenses, and if that's the case, then Brandon Staley that shouldn't be anywhere near an NFL defense.
Nope, he shouldn't have a job anymore. Honestly, we're at that point.
But Dean Spanos loves a yes man as his head coach. He has for a very long time.
Yeah, plus he's cheap.
Yep,
he is. But yeah, this was a game that I needed the Ravens to lose this one. They didn't. The Chargers needed to win this one. They also did not. It feels like last season for the Chargers might be a mirage, and another season of just the Chargers doing Charger things.
Just pain.
Yeah.
They need, and I think Jacob has said it multiple times, Ben Johnson.
Yep.
They need to go get Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson's the one to go grab. They won't, though.
Get somebody. Anybody else. Last game of the week we're talking about Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Straight up, didn't watch it down at this. Did not watch a single snap.
Oh, you missed.
This is the worst. I'm sorry. You said unwatchable game of the week was New England and the Giants. I think it was this one because nothing happened until like the last 5 minutes.
And there was something did happen. Also at least nothing else on. Like it wasn't like there were other games being played at the same. This was a prime time game.
Something did happen. Josh Dobbs had his back to life, back to reality game. I feel like Josh Dobbs had some really great moments this year. No, Josh Dobbs went back to being Josh Dobbs.
This is the second time he's done that. Like
4 picks on the day.
Like he had, like the game against Dallas when he was on the Cardinals, he looked really good, and then about a couple weeks later, he looked atrocious. It's because teams finally get film on him, and we see why he's a career. Like he's a decent quarterback. He's not a full-time starter. He is.
No, he's a backup. He's a career
2 to 4 week starter.
Yeah, he's someone you put in. He's someone you put in a pinch. But Minnesota's hoping he would be the guy who would come in and save their season. That might not be the case.
I mean, yeah, no. I still, they're at a point. I mean, because the NFC South sucks so badly, though. Like the Vikings are still most likely going to get the 7th seed.
They could.
Their biggest competition right now is probably the Rams.
Or Green
Packers.
Packers, true as well.
The way Jordan Love's been playing the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and Josh Dobbs didn't look good, and O'Connor said he doesn't know who his starter is after the bye because they have a bye coming. So he's like,
which again, like Dobbs was the backup plan for Kirk Cousins. What's the backup plan now?
So Kirk got hurt, and then it was Jaron Hall, and then they traded for Dobbs, and Dobbs was there for like 2 days. So obviously he's the backup. Then Hall got hurt, and then Dobbs won them a game, so he's played the last couple of weeks.
So back to Jaron Hall then?
Probably.
Most likely.
Oh Jesus, God no. Sorry, Vikings fans. That's no.
But they
meanwhile,
do
Chicago.
get JJ. They get JJ back because he was officially activated today, which I was like, why? And then I found out, because today's the last day they could actually.
Yeah, if they wanted him for the rest of the season, they had to activate him tonight.
So
yeah,
that one makes sense.
Chicago, on the other hand, somehow managed to win a game despite only kicking field goals, 4 field goals, and that was enough to win this game.
Like I said, Fields, who you have 5 weeks.
He had 2 really bad fumbles, like really, really bad fumbles.
Yeah. Fields,
Yeah.
you've got to buy this week, and then you go Lions, Browns, Cardinals, Falcons, Packers.
Yeah, Fields might die.
If you can win 2 of them, I think you may have secured your job.
I mean, unless again, if Myles Garrett's playing, he might might peel Field off the pavement after that game. That's gonna do it for our recap. We now move on to our Week 12 predictions. Good.
On this game is even with Chicago winning, they're still the number 4 in the draft picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. So by a win, you didn't even hurt yourself.
Yeah.
They win by doing nothing. That's what they did. All right, so Week 12 predictions. I'm sorry, Week 13 predictions. I gotta rewrite that. Is it 13?
Yep.
All right, week 13 predictions / stunks or not stunks. On a bye this week, we got the Ravens, the Bills. I know Jacob's happy about that. The Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, and the Giants. Jacob, since you're on a bye this week, I'll turn over stonks duty to you.
Oh, God.
Thursday Night Football, we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Dallas Cowboys.
You're gonna get the most basic bitch answers, by the way. Okay, so personally, I think Dallas win this and win this handedly. I think this is a fairly embarrassing game for the Seahawks.
Should.
But that's the thing the Cowboys have been doing. They've been beating up on bad teams, and and it's not like they're losing to bad teams outside of one.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, look, since Seattle can't finish in the red zone, then yeah, it's gonna be Dallas.
All right, let's say Pollard.
Pollard.
Yep.
I have a weird feeling that he's not going to be not stonks in this game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I'm leaning not stonks.
All right.
All right. Sunday slates, we have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the New England Patriots. The candidate for unwatchable game of the week.
This is personally, this is one of my favorite bets of the week. You can get Patriots right now at +6. I think Chargers win, but it's a close game.
Oh my God, if they don't cover this, Jesus. They should outscore them easily, though.
They've never beaten the Patriots ever.
Wait, ever?
Well,
Herbert's never beaten the Patriots.
Yeah, Herbert's never beaten them.
Herbert. I was about to say, there's no way that. Okay, that one I believe.
I mean, I'm leaning Chargers. I feel like this is going to be closer than it's any right to be, but I'm leaning Chargers.
Yeah, I got Chargers.
All right, stonks. Let's say Eckler.
I like him in this game. Stonks.
Yeah, I just hope that he runs fast because that clip against Green Bay where he's at the sideline, it looks like he's jogging. Made me
That was a
laugh.
good one. That was funny. All right.
Do
Up
you want to
next,
know? Actually,
Detroit
I just
Lions.
looked it up. Do you want to know the last time the Chargers won against the Patriots?
When?
The year Tom Brady tore his ACL.
That's the last time.
That's the last time they beat them. They've like in 08. That's the last time. They've never beaten them. They've never beaten them as LA. It was only when they were San Diego. They did it and then 05 and 05 and 02. And then the time before that, that's it, because before that they weren't the New England Patriots. They were the Boston Patriots.
Wow. All right, anyways, Detroit Lions versus New Orleans Saints.
Lions.
Yeah. I've got Lions winning this, but it's close. And you can get Saints at +4, and I'm taking that. Saints at +4.
Interesting. See, I don't think the Saints beat the spread. I think the Lions win this handily enough, considering the Saints got to deal with Pete Carmichael on the sideline. So
no, I think it's within 3. That's all. It's you can get it at 4. You get it at 4, and that's why I'm like I
don't even think it's that close. I genuinely do not think it's gonna be that close.
Okay.
So what you got for this one, Jacob?
Olave.
Stonks.
Yeah, stonks.
Only because Lattimore is on the IR. That's the only reason I'm saying that. That's the only reason.
Fair enough. Up next, the Atlanta Falcons versus the New York Jets. Much as they shouldn't be winning this game, is going to be Atlanta.
Yeah, I got Atlanta.
You know what? I want to say the Jets. I think Boyle is gonna have a decent game.
This is Tim Boyle's big boy game.
Yes, because I don't think the Falcons offense with Desmond Ridder and Smith there, I don't trust them.
Like, I don't trust Desmond Ridder much. The next guy, I know is it the best defense Desmond Ridder's gone up against so far?
Hold on. I mean, Lions in regular season, yeah, it would be. It'd be the best defense he's played.
So I mean, that's a little daunting for Desmond Ridder, but I still think they'll look. If Arthur Smith can pull his head out of his ass for just like one quarter, they'll be able to beat the Jets with Tim Boyle. That's because the defense is gonna do a lot of work.
Drake London.
Not Stonks. Sauce is gonna lock him up. Not Stonks.
Yeah.
All right. Buck, it's you and me, buddy. Arizona Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I will say, actually, I'll let you go first, Buck.
If Matt Canada was still there, I'd say the Cardinals have a shot. I absolutely freaking would, because that man does not know how to scheme or make play calls. And also the way Kyler and the way that they called plays last week, I was just like, what are you doing? Like you are not a throw the ball 45 times a game team. Like, you need to be more balanced. I'm trying to find out why James Conner didn't play in the second half. Like, I didn't.
Oh, he's hurt and be so pissed. He's my running back.
Like, I don't remember seeing anything that he was hurt. So that's why I was like, what? Like, why are we not playing him? And it's in Pittsburgh. They typically don't play well going east. But I mean, I have to go for my team, so I'm going to say Cardinals. And I think I think it's -6.
Yeah, this is another. So this is another one of my bets. It's -5.5, and I've got Steelers. This is gonna get ugly. This is gonna be ugly.
Look, Kyler, I will say, get ready to run, because Watt's gonna be in your face all freaking day.
Of the quarterbacks we have left to face of the year, Kyler Murray is far and away the best one we're taking down. We're taking on. That being said, Kyler Murray's finna die. this coming
So
Sunday.
is Watt left outside or right outside?
He's left.
Paris Johnson, our rookie, has done fairly well. He did shut down Micah Parsons when we played.
Yeah, Micah Parsons not. Miss me with that shit. Do not ever, never compare Micah Parsons to T.J. Watt. Never.
The only one you're allowed. The only
hear...
one you're allowed is Myles Garrett. That's the only one you're allowed at this
Other
point.
than that, no, I don't want to hear Micah Parsons and Miles and T.J. Watt in the same sentence, not in the same paragraph, not in the same essay. But no,
not going to matter because
does Paris Johnson plays right tackle.
Yeah.
How pissed off are you going to be when Micah Parsons has a Super Bowl ring before T.J. Watt?
It's not going to happen. So I'm never going to be pissed about that.
You mean how Joe Burrow's not going to have one before Kenny Pickett?
Look, Kenny Pickett's going to do it. I stand by my bet. I stand by what I said, and I will follow through on our bets. Although I do wonder what happens if neither one gets a ring at the end.
It's void bet.
Yeah, it's a void bet because you didn't put anything into it.
Either way, Steelers. I'm hoping Santonio Holmes will be in attendance for this game. Just just rub a little.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck Santonio Holmes. I hate that man with a goddamn passion. If he wasn't so damn talented, that ball's thrown 6 inches higher, Cardinals have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, if my grandmother had wheels, it'd be a bike. As we know, everyone the Steelers stunks. Everyone on the other team not stunks. Moving on. The Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. I feel like I just watched this game. I
think we did.
Yeah, didn't these two just play?
Yeah, I think they're playing. Yeah, they're literally going back to back.
Yeah, who is stacking these games?
The Colts played Bucks last week. When's the last time they played each other?
They played week 5. I don't know why. I feel like I just saw this game. Point is, they're doing it again.
Well, they're in the same division, so obviously.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, but this is actually a pretty solid coin toss. I'm actually gonna lean the Colts on this one, given that they have something to play for now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm gonna go Colts. With no gusto in my voice whatsoever. Like, I'm taking Colts, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, like I would have felt a lot better with Jonathan Taylor. Like Zach Moss has done really well in his absence. I think it becomes more. I think it could go either way. Will Levis could have a good game, or they could just run the ball like crazy with Derrick Henry for the Titans. And we got Gardner, which I never know which one's gonna show up.
We never know with Gardner. It's a crapshoot.
So, but I can see this going either way. But I think Colts. Yeah.
What you got for this one, Jacob?
I'm gonna go Colts. Michael Pittman Jr.
Ooh,
good one.
Stonks.
Yeah, I'm leaning Stonks too.
Because last week he tore it up. He tore it up last week.
Up next, the Miami Dolphins taking on the Washington Commanders.
Are the Commanders over or under 500? That will tell you what happens.
No.
They're under 500, so Miami wins.
I agree with that. Even though, even if they weren't, their defense is horrific. So Miami win this.
Yeah, and I agree. Miami's got this all day.
For the sake of my fantasy, Tyreek Hill.
Stonks.
Yeah.
Big stonks.
I was about to say I could see him going for 200 plus.
Good, honestly. Because that defense, possibly.
Yep.
Up next, the Denver Broncos versus the Houston Texans. This is big for both teams. This is big for both teams in terms of playoff positioning.
This is huge for both. So you can get Broncos at +3.5 right now, which I think is insane. So I've got Broncos plus 3.5. I think Texans win by a field goal with like by like 2 points.
Who's their kicker now? Because it's not Amendola.
I don't know.
Is Cami Fairbairn back?
I don't think so. No, I think he's still injured.
Damn. Well, that sucks.
I like the
but
pair of Stroud and Dell over Russell and Sutton personally. So I think it pains me to say because Hurts are getting our draft pick, which I've now accepted is going to be in the 20s. I think Texans make the playoffs.
I'm actually going to lean Broncos. I think they're riding high. I think they're trying to get momentum. They have something to play for.
It's just 6 in a row. I just can't it's 6 in a row.
All right. So, what you got for this one?
Let's go Tank Dell.
Stonks.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, I'm leaning Stonks, but I feel like PS2 is going to be on him a lot.
Yeah,
because that is Stroud's favorite target. Up next, Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I feel like this is the lead candidate for unwatchable game of the week.
Oh, what was that earlier one? There was an earlier one that I think's unwatchable more so.
Was it Falcons Jets?
Yeah, Falcons Jets. I think's your unwatchable game of the week.
So we always see it. A team fires a head coach, and then all of a sudden they play really well for the interim, the first game back. I could see this being that for the Panthers.
This is the fuck around and find out.
And also,
who even is the interim head coach for the Panthers right now?
I don't even know.
I'm looking that up right now.
I saw a troll post that said Jeff Saturday. It made me laugh.
Chris Tabor.
Yeah. Okay. Who the fuck is this? Okay. Sure. Why not?
And Baker against his former team, I could see him trying to play too much hero ball.
Also with an injury at the moment.
Yeah.
Half a leg.
Which we know how that goes with Baker.
Carolina's special teams coordinator.
Sure. Of course. Backup for Carolina is Andy Dalton. Backup in Tampa Bay is Kyle Trask.
Yeah, Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask.
So yeah, this one could be ugly.
All right. I agree. I'm going Panthers. I think Panthers pull off the upset in this one.
I'm leaning the Bucs. If the Bucs don't win, Todd Bowles needs to be fired. Don't even let him board the flight. I know they're at home. Don't even let him in the team's facility. Take his keys. Take his car. Just no. Let him make him walk. Make him walk.
How how does Bryce Young do with the new coach?
I'm leaning not Stonks.
It's not the coach so much for me because he has no one to throw. It's weird. Adam Thielen, the first 6 weeks,
he was great.
I don't know what I think teams finally figured it out. Let's just double Adam Thielen because he has no one else to throw to.
Yeah.
Jonathan Mingo had that catch last week. I'm like, what are you doing? His feet flail out of bounds and his hands are the only thing inbounds. I'm like, what are you? But no, yeah, that's definitely not stock. I have to see something and I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It is ironic that Bryce Young's only win in the NFL is against CJ Stroud.
Yeah. He's like, I'm winning this goddamn fucking game.
I win nothing else. I'm winning this game, goddammit.
Yep.
Up next, the Cleveland Browns taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh God.
If DTR plays, I could see Cleveland. If not, no. Sorry.
I'm still gonna go.
Even if DTR plays, I'm going Los Angeles.
Yeah, the way Rams played last week, I'm gonna say Rams too. But this is gonna be ugly. This isn't gonna be.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a very low scoring affair.
Yeah. Be prepared for. I think Garrett does play this game. So I think Stafford gets sacked a few times because that O-line is trash. But So I'm going to say Cup.
I mean,
I'm gonna say Stonks. I need to be Stonks on my fantasy team.
bias. I'm gonna say not Stonks because I think it's gonna be Puka.
All right, Jacob, your tiebreaker. Stonks or not?
Not Stonks. I think Stafford.
God damn it!
A lot.
All right, fine. And what is sure? This has to be game of the week. If it's not, something's gone horribly wrong for one of these teams. Probably San Fran. San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think this is hard because no matter what, unless this is a shootout back and forth game where everyone plays fantastic, and at the end of it we're just like, wow, this is 1-2 in the league. Someone's getting quote unquote exposed. So at the end of this game, we're going to be like, well, that's what's going to cost them in the playoffs. And it's either going to be the Eagles finally don't luck out at the end where, through complete bullshit happenstance, they're able to win one of their games. Or
that was a bullshit happenstance.
Maybe, okay, fine. But the last 3 weeks, a dropped catch, Cowboys being the Cowboys, and the Bills giving them the wide open
and overtime happening.
And and an overtime and one of the most miracle kicks of all time happen. Like, that's the only reason they have won all 3 of their last games. They should have lost all 3 of their last games, but they've won them based off those 3 factors. So, it's, if that happens for the 49ers, then if the 49ers win this game, there's going to be the have the Eagles been shown that they're not the best team in the NFC? What I think is going to happen is Brock Purdy is going to face a real defense and suddenly look like shit. And we're going to go afterwards and say, yeah, all these 49ers players saying we would have made the Super Bowl if it wasn't for the fact that our quarterback got hurt. Well, would you have? Because look what just happened here.
Oh, Brock Purdy gets hurt again. That looks to be kind of hilarious.
That would genuinely be hilarious, but it would also
Sam Darnold time. Let's go.
And then he gets hurt. Then what do you do?
I don't even think they have a thirder.
If the same script, oh my god! If the same script plays out a second time, that's just too funny. I'm sorry, San Fran fan. That is too funny.
No, what's got to happen? No, you're thinking too little. What's got to happen is Brock gets injured in this game, then Sam Darnold gets injured in the conference final again.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. Can't have it both happen in the same game. One's got to or if they both happen, it's not this game. It's got to be the conference final. It's got to be the one where they get eliminated, and then afterwards for the whole year, that's their bullshit excuse for why we didn't make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm rolling Philly on this one. I think they're the hot team right now. They can't start slow against this team.
Things benefit them lately. A lot of good things had their way. I think that stops this week.
I don't think so. I think that had things gone their way, sure, but at the same time, you still got to execute, and they do. When you need them to execute, they do. So I'm going Philly.
I'm going Philly, but this is gonna be an ugly game. As in, this is going to be a knock 'em down, drag 'em out fight. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking.
So I could see 13-10, or I could see what we had last week with Buffalo, 38-35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, given I just shit all over him, Brock, how does Purdy do?
Stonks.
I'm saying not Stonks.
I'd say not Stonks. I think he has a woeful game. Personally, I think he gets.
The whole excuse that he's a system quarterback. A lot of guys are system quarterbacks.
I agree with that. No, I get that, but I need to see. But here's the thing: you can be a system quarterback, but then when the going gets tough, you actually stand up and you're able to, go down the field and do.
As much as I hate to admit it, Tom Brady proved that.
Yeah, like he needs to be able to show when the going gets tough, when a game is tough for you, can you deliver? And unfortunately, we had three of those games this year, and he sucked in all three of them. So that's where I'm at with the 49ers.
All right. Sunday night football, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Green Bay Packers for some reason.
Yeah, this is my final bet of the week. You can get Chiefs at -6. That's gonna get ugly. This one's gonna be ugly.
Especially if they learn their lesson and feed Rashid Rice. Like, if they're doubling Kelsey, look for Rashid. Do not look for Scantling or Hardman or McKinnon. Look for Rashid Rice.
Yeah, this is a game where Kansas City needs to have a good, because I'm not that impressed with the secondary of Green Bay. Sure, they have a solid pass rush with Sean Gary and Kenny Clark, but they need that secondary. That secondary, considering they traded Rasul Douglas, nothing to write home about. So yeah, I'm leaning Kansas City.
Yeah, and also they're going up against a really good Kansas City defense. I think Jordan Love's going to come back to earth just a little bit. But no, yeah, I think Kansas City covers this easily.
All right, what you got for this one?
All right, yeah, man of the hour. Oh no, actually, let's against this Kansas City defense. How does Reed go?
Ooh.
Not Stonks.
Not Stonks. Yeah, I think he gets shut down.
I don't like Mir.
No, yeah. To be honest, I don't like this matchup for any of the skill positions for Green Bay.
Yeah. All right. And last game we're talking about Monday Night Football. We have Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Are back on. No, not the Vikings. Who the hell are they playing?
The Jags.
Oh shit! Why did I write the Vikings?
I was like, how are the Vikings on Monday night twice when you said they were on bye?
taking on the Jags.
Well, Jags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Joe Burrow, Jags easy.
Jags. This is going to be an ugly.
Trevor Lawrence is finally playing like the guy I drafted early in fantasy in our league for. Like, he had a rough 3-4 week stretch, and because of that, I'm probably not going to make the playoffs in the What the Show league.
Don't worry.
I mean, beating Chance this week helped me out a lot, but I have so much that needs to go my way to make the top 6. I'm like,
I'm currently first in that league, so I'm really happy right now. And I did that with, and I got lucky because I had Dobbs. So, although I'm gonna be screwed in 2 weeks. Anyway.
Yeah, that's about to come back to bite you.
Yeah.
All right. What you got for this one?
All right. How does Trevor Lawrence play?
Stonks.
I'm gonna go not Stonks, even though that doesn't benefit me. He's been playing really well recently, and I just feel like he's gonna make some mind-numbing.
Come down to earth. Come down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's gonna come back a little bit.
I'm gonna say Stonks. I just think this defense is too terrible for him to have a really bad game. But we'll see.
All right. That's going to bring us into the show. Buck, thanks for joining us. Where can we find you at?
Right here on Twitter and Instagram. See me just tweeting about all sorts of sports. That's all I tweet about. Really.
Jacob, where can we find you?
You guys find me pretty much everywhere at Jacob London, including on my podcast, Lights on the Screen.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, ChanceWars_91. Check out the podcast, Earth by Chance. And that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you for listening. And we will see you. Trying to find the intro while I'm dragging us off. See you next time.